Hey, so good. You already know what time it is. Ba-da-da-da-da. Animated horror stories. Ba-da-da-da. Animated horror stories. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Choo, choo, choo. So, y'all, you see, we have SSG House. Yeah, SSG House. It says two true Red Lobster horror stories animated. I'm like, what can y'all be doing at Red Lobster? You see sister in the bag getting attacked by lobsters. If you get attacked by lobsters, you did something. Cause why would them lobsters just attack you? So let's see what's happening. Go on and support their channel. As I always say, if you want to watch with them, feel free. Go subscribe. Go like the videos. You know, just make sure you come back. All right. And we're gonna get on into it. We're gonna grab our blunts, please. Go get them. A bottle of water, please. Mm-hmm. Bag of chips. Yep, thank you. And a blanket to stay snug, you know? And let's get on into it. Let's see what's going on. Cause like Red Lobster for real? Y'all really cutting up at the Red Lobster? I've never been. So I wouldn't know for.
When I completed culinary school, my first few jobs weren't so good. So when I was offered the position of chef in Red Lobster, I was over the moon.
Okay.
Red Lobster was a restaurant chain that had outlets all over the country and was very famous. Having it on my resume would definitely get me a job in one of the 5-star restaurants. If you didn't know, many of these restaurant chains have an induction or orientation program for new staff members. In this program, we are taught how we are supposed to function in these restaurants and how we are to interact with the customers. Me, being the chef, it was unlikely that I had to talk to the customers. After the induction program, I started working as chef in this restaurant immediately. For the first few weeks, the work pressure wasn't much. My shifts were limited. But as I started to settle into my new role, my manager made me take more and more shifts. At first, it was all good. But slowly, as the months passed, the work became more and more stressful. As I was in charge of cooking the unlimited shrimp, I was constantly on my feet as almost all the customers wanted those.
Oh yeah.
I was yelled at multiple times by my manager for being too slow. Sometimes, some very nasty customers complained about the taste of the shrimp. Although the job paid me well, it was a stressful job. One afternoon, when the restaurant was, as usual, full, I was late on an unlimited shrimp order. This particular customer wanted the shrimp to be a bit burnt and crispier. Making this order took a considerable amount of time, and I was most certain that this customer was going to complain to the manager.
Yeah.
When the waiter took the order, I was preparing myself to be yelled at. A few minutes later, the waiter returned and told me the customer wanted to see me.
Oh,
I wiped my hands on my apron and walked out.
What are you really talking about?
On the far side of the restaurant sat an old man, eating the overcooked shrimp I had prepared. As I reached his table, I said, "Sir,
What?
I'm Amanda. I prepared your meal this afternoon."
And what the fuck?
Although I had a smile pasted to my face on the outside, on the inside, I was a nervous puddle.
Should be honest, you should have.
The man put his
no,
silverware
I know damn
down
well I
and
would've
turned
been like, what are
towards
you
me
talking
with a
about?
beaming smile.
Miss Amanda,
Oh, you did good?
it's a pleasure to
Okay.
meet you. I'm Robert McClare.
I did good. Thank
I've
you.
been
I
visiting
know.
this restaurant for years, and every time I order an overcooked and extra crisp
I would have been, y'all, my face would have been turned up looking so raggedy at him off of the, he wants to speak to you. I would have definitely been like, yes. And it would have, did you make this meal? Yes, I did. Why? Is something wrong with it? No, it's actually amazing. Oh, okay, thank you. And then he would have been like, I wanted to work with
plate
you, but
of
now I don't.
unlimited
You got a
shrimp.
funky ass attitude.
And
Like, you know what I mean? And I would have been like, you're right, but I thought you was gonna have a funky ass attitude. So that's why I came in here on one already. But
Claire,
crazy.
I've been visiting this restaurant for years, and every time I order an overcooked and extra crispy
Would've been
plate
ready
of
to-
unlimited shrimp.
He would have been ready.
And to date,
out.
none of the chefs have made my food as I had expected. You were the first one.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
And he handed me a $100 bill as a tip.
Get crazy.
I was overjoyed. This was the first time a customer had praised my cooking and given me a tip. Over the course of the next few months, Robert and I became good friends. He always ordered the same dish, and I cooked it just as he liked it. He always left me with hefty tips. Serving him made my day. He always came in the afternoon, as according to him, his old stomach couldn't digest the fish at night. Turns out, he loved the shrimp overdone, as his mom used to cook them that way. It reminded him of his mother.
All right.
One evening, I got an order for an overcooked, extra crispy shrimp unlimited. I immediately knew whose order it was. So, instead of letting the waiter take the plate to the table, I took it myself. Robert sat in his usual place. "So, what brings you here at this hour, old man?" I asked him playfully.
Well, Amanda, I was craving my overdone shrimp, so I decided to come eat them. Who knows which plate will be my last?
Oh,
Robert
no.
said.
Sir,
"Don't
are
worry,
you not supposed
you will
to be
live to be
having this?
100, I said, and let him have his meal. That evening, he left me a $500 tip with a note that said,
Oh, he's
"Until next
dying,
time."
Y'all.
This was the first time he had left me so many tips and a note.
Oh,
I was
he's
drowned in work,
dying,
so I did not get
y'all.
much time to think about it. The next day, my manager was talking to two men wearing black suits in his office. The moment my manager
Couldn't
spotted
have
me looking
right
at them,
throw her
his
in
face
his
lit
boat.
up, and he called me into his office. The two men looked somewhat gloomy, but forced a smile on their face. One of the men, who had introduced himself as Ian, spoke
Aw.
first.
Hi, you must be Amanda. Dad spoke very highly of you and your cooking. We want you to
He
cater
died,
for an event.
y'all.
"Sure. I hope Robert will be there. He said yesterday that we would meet soon."
Oh, he's dead.
As soon as I said that, both men and the manager exchanged a funny look amongst themselves. I was pretty confused as to what had happened. What happened? Am I missing something?
He's dead.
Miss Amanda, what did you mean when you said Dad was here last evening?
Was this a trick question? I was confused. He was sitting right at that table and enjoying his shrimp. I served him his plate myself.
There must be some confusion. You may have seen someone else.
Ian said. I'm pretty sure it was Robert, but he seemed a little weird now that I think about it. He was hinting at his death. The men in the room exchanged
He's
another
dead,
funny look.
y'all.
Well, the occasion on which we want you to cater is actually Dad's funeral.
What? What do you mean, his funeral? What happened to Robert? This
he's
was a
old as
shock to
shit.
me,
He said he was gonna
especially
die.
early in the morning.
Dad passed away in the morning yesterday,
I
in
wanted
his
to-
sleep.
I can't work.
In his will, he had written that he wants all the attendees to have the overcooked crispy shrimp he likes so much. He wanted you to make them.
But he was here yesterday evening.
So who left me
How is
outside
this
the
even
house?
possible?
We just want to ask you if you'd be able to cater for the funeral, which is next week. Dad would have loved if you'd say yes.
Girl, see, yeah, you
I
ain't
collected
got no
myself and told them I would do it. The two men who were Robert's sons left.
choice.
Hey, boss, would you mind if I check the CCTV footage of last evening?
You've got me some good business, so you can access my computer. I'll be out. Let me know if you need any help.
I played the footage, and there, clear as day, I could see myself standing beside Robert's usual table, serving the plate of shrimp and chatting. However, there was no one sitting at the table except me. The whole restaurant was full of people, and among them, I was sitting alone and talking to myself.
God damn go.
Robert wasn't recorded in the footage. This freaked me out. I was damn sure Robert was there.
I'm more worried
So
about
instead
the
of
fact
checking
that
out the
he's
footage, I checked my purse, and in it still lay the crisp $500 note that Robert had tipped me. How is that possible? For me to have the note when he was not even there. This mystery haunts me today. That evening in Red Lobster, I had seen the ghost of my friend and dear customer Robert. And as a parting gift, he had given me the $500, not which I still have with me. One day, this may be a cool story to tell to my grandkids.
I don't know.
But only
would
you
you say?
know how terrifying it is to have a real ghost encounter when you least expect it.
Hi, guys. Here's my story about Red Lobster. Years before I was married, I went out with a girlfriend to Red Lobster on a Sunday evening. We'd been at the beach all day and we both received horrible sunburns. Red in pain and very hungry, we decided to go out and eat and enjoy a good meal. We both ordered pasta dishes. Mine was linguine and clam sauce, and hers was spaghetti and meatballs. We waited 45 minutes in the crowded bar for a table, and we could tell when seated that our server, a young lady in her mid-20s, was not having the best night. It happens. I'm always very nice to restaurant servers. They're not only handling my food, but since they're always the first person to be notified of a complaint, they can be a bit on edge sometimes. Whether it was the crowd, an overbusy kitchen, or maybe just a headache, we could tell it just wasn't her day. Little did I realize I'd helped to make it worse. We waited over 30 minutes for our food to arrive, and we began to eat quite ravenously. The food was delicious. I was enjoying my linguine and white clam sauce when I noticed my girlfriend looking down at her plate. Her sunburned face turned white, or pink as it were. She was not happy. "What's the matter, darling?" I asked. "Nothing. Don't feel well," she replied, folding her napkin across the plate. "Well, is it the food or the sunburn?" I asked. "I didn't want to ruin your meal, but there's a big black bug in my spaghetti," she said.
Oh, hell no.
"You've got to be kidding," I said, feeling my stomach loop inside my body. "No, here it is," she responded, showing me the plate and the biggest bug. There it was.
Oh, hell
The
no.
king of all bugs. At least 1.5 inches in length with huge wings, now covered in marinara sauce. That was definitely not in the menu description of the meal she ordered. She excused herself to go to the bathroom. I attempted to get the server's attention. So were 10 other tables. I caught the server's attention as she was passing by our table with a tray full of drinks for the people seated behind us. "Excuse me. There's a little problem with our order." "I'm sorry, sir. What seems to be the problem?" "There's a huge bug in my girlfriend's pasta." "I am so sorry, sir. I'll get her a replacement dish immediately."
Now we just want
"That's
a refund.
okay. I don't think she's very hungry. What can we do about this?" "I'll have to notify the manager. I'll send him right over." In the meantime, my girlfriend arrived back at the table, still a bit disturbed, but looking better than she did when she had left. The waitress returned to the table, alone. "Sir, the manager said he's very sorry and told me to either replace your girlfriend's dinner or remove the dinner from the bill." "Well, that's really nice of your manager, but since I've lost my appetite as well, please let your manager know I won't be paying for mine either. We'll pay for our cocktails, but there's no way I'm paying for the food."
Oh, wow.
The waitress, who had a definite look of despair, would accept the deal and disappear, but with the sunburn, the wait for the food, the ruined meal, and a half-assed apology from a manager who didn't take the time to attend to a customer, I got quite ornery. "Can you please tell the manager I'd like to see him immediately?" "Yes, sir. I'll get him right now," the waitress replied. About 5 minutes later, the manager...
But you was tearing your shit up, though. You know, like, I understand the concern and you being upset, but you was chowing your shit down. You was eating your shit up. She ain't finished her shit. She cannot pay for her shit. You gotta pay for your shit. You was eating your shit. You like your shit. Stop playing. But I understand it's about the manager not coming out, so now it's not even about that. It's about the principal.
appeared
But
and,
still.
in his best corporate voice, apologized for the spoiled food. Explained that these things happen from time to time, and once again offered to remove the meal from the bill. My meal, however, would need to be paid for. I'm not going to pay for food I couldn't eat. Sir,
You
unfortunately, our policy dictates that only the meal with a problem can be removed. My customer policy dictates that when my appetite is ruined, I'm not paying for either meal. If there's a problem with that, you can get a district manager on the phone and I'll be more than happy to speak with him. Sir, believe it or not, people have been known to bring bugs into restaurants to obtain free meals. I'm not implying you did that, but it's been known to happen.
Oh, you see.
So, you mean we brought that bug with us and put it in this dish?
Oh, you
Wow.
see now.
No, but some people do this, ma'am.
Shut up. I'm going to pay for the cocktails and leave the waitress a great tip. I pulled $25 from my wallet and tossed it on the table. I looked over at my girlfriend and said, "Let's go."
Sir, if you don't pay for the meal, I'll be forced to call the police.
Okay, you do what you have to do. They can cuff me right here in front of your customers, and before the cops get here, I'm going to let everyone know that we found bugs in our food. I figure I have at least 10 minutes to ruin your business. It'll be a pleasure being arrested and going to court for being right.
Sir, this isn't necessary. Please pay the bill or I'll be forced to do something I don't want to do.
Me too, I said as I stepped onto my chair and announced loudly, "Attention! Customers!
Sir, please get down from there.
Hand me the bill."
Here is the bill. Please just leave.
My girlfriend and I came home, and we were very happy because the manager was right. We took that bug with us. And this was not the first time we did this. Many times we used to do all this to get free food.
Oh!
And every time we used to come home after paying a little money and after spending a lot of time in the restaurant. We did the same at Red Lobster. But this time our condition was going to get worse. In the middle of the night, when we were both asleep, the room was dark.
Sneaky motherfuckers! You sneaky motherfuckers! Here I am defending yo stupid bitch. Talking about some, yeah, she deserved her food for free, and y'all some lying assholes.
Oh man, we were very happy because the manager was right.
I was a little disappointed because I was like, it's only 2 videos. It's only 2 stories, not 3. But it's all right. It's all right. I'm okay. Because this story right here, this bitch right here, oh, this funky stinking bitch right here, that means she was eating it up too. Oh, I was talking about him eating it up, him being happy, him being chilling. And it's really the both of them? Oh, these hoes here, you sneaky motherfuckers.
We took that bug with us.
Oh,
and this was not the first time we did this. Many times we used to do all this to get free food. And every time we used to come home after paying a little money and after spending a lot of time in the restaurant.
Right here.
We did the same at Red Lobster. But this time our condition was going to get worse. In the middle of the night, when we were both asleep, the room was dark when I realized that something was moving on my body.
Oh,
then I felt sharp pricks in many parts of my body. I stood up screaming. I switched on the light. That's when my girlfriend also started crying because big bugs were running all over her body too.
Oh.
There were millions of bugs in our room. We didn't understand how this happened so suddenly. We were both very scared. Some of these bugs were very large and poisonous. They were also biting us on many parts of our body. Then I heard the sound of the door opening, and I saw the waitress who was serving us Red Lobster going out the window. I understood the whole matter. But recently, we had to get rid of those millions of bugs. I quickly called 911, and in no time, the police came to help us. I didn't reveal that waitress, as I too was wrong. The next day, I went to Red Lobster and looked for the waitress. I wanted to teach her a lesson on my own, but found out she had quit. That waitress probably took revenge on us. But how did she know we were a fraud? Had she met us at a restaurant before? Had she heard our words? I don't have any idea.
She felt it in her
What do you
core
guys
that y'all
think?
hoes was some snaky, stinking ass snakes. She felt it in her core that y'all hoes was some snakes. Some snakety snakes. Oh, she ran up in y'all shit and threw bugs everywhere because that's what y'all hoes get. Y'all hoes, that's what y'all hoes get. Y'all was really playing folks. I'm over here really defending some hoe ass hoes, y'all. Oh, let me know what you think about both stories. It's a short video, but it's two stories. And we got a whole bunch of other videos. So go watch something else. Duh. But I like story number two more than story number one just because that snaky snake ass hoe. And then I don't really like death. That's sad. So that old man died and was like his spirit came and gave her $500. Mm-mm. I would have came and took that back for my daddy, give my daddy money. But until next time, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like the video, please. And until next time, I love you.